Oh yes, me, the guy with the YouTube channel, and today we are continuing the G-Fest 22 reviews with the second figure I bought on Saturday of G-Fest, or Day 2, the Bandai 2000 Godzilla vs. Megaguirus G-Annihilation Blister Pack Godzilla 2000. I don't have the box or blister pack for this guy, so we'll just get straight into the detail. As always, we need to focus. Not quite focused. It's not really wanting to. Okay, well, it's not focusing, but you can kind of see the detail. I just wanted to come. No. Focus. There we go. Yeah, as you can see, there's some pretty nice detail on here. Bandai did not skip out at all. You can see the bottom of the feet are nicely detailed. Toenails aren't painted on the bottom, but yeah, you can see there's a nice white for his toenails. He's a very green vinyl. The 2000 Godzilla was green, but not this green. Although this is the Megaguirus version, but still. And this is the reissue, obviously, not the original 1999 Toho Kaiju's version, so this one, everything about this one's color is different, all the way down to the shades of white used on the eyes, teeth, and claws. But yeah, you can see there's a lot of nice detail. There's some extra or random paint that I still need to scrape off, but you can see all these little spiky bits on his legs, on his arms, elbows, bent pretty much at 90 degrees. Fingernails. The Toho Kaiju version has much heavier painted fingernails. This one does not. And the Toho Kaiju one, it continues onto his skin. It barely does here, and this one has hardly any paint on the fingernails on his right hand. You can see this, a nice detail. It is a little easier to make out the detail on the older Toho Kaiju release, just because it's a darker color, but this is still a very nice figure. You can see inside the mouth, nice detailing on the roof of the mouth. The tongue, it's red, just the top of it, not on the sides. And you can see the head isn't really accurate to the Megaguirus suit. The eyes were a little further into his brow, and his snout looked a little bit different. Just a few minor differences between the 2000 and 1999 suits, but very minor. And as you can see, the main difference between this and the Toho Kaiju, the spines. These are translucent, yellowish gold, orange colored, and the Toho Kaiju just has purple. I probably shouldn't make this a whole comparison video, but yeah, you can see they look really nice. They have these orange sprays on top of them. One problem I do have, though, is the non-translucent spines on his tail and head are just white with orange spray on top of them. And I mean, it kind of blends, but I preferred a more coherent blend. I don't know what I'm talking about. It just looks a little odd, just between this and the translucent. Maybe they could have made maybe they could have just made the whole figure translucent and painted it like Bandai, like the movie Monsters Burning Godzilla, but it still looks okay. And one other complaint I have about this is there's no gradient, there's no difference between the skin here, there, and on his body. There's a big difference between the two. Like, they should have painted that, but it's a fairly hard to paint place. And you can see his tail is very long, kind of curves a little bit, and again, the really nice detail, that's where the copyright is. And yeah, this is kind of dragging out in a weird way, but also, one thing I want to point out, mine has this kind of brownish color going in between the spines on his tail. And I don't think that's dust, because I haven't been able to scrape it out, but I'm not sure if other figures, the other ones, have this on it, so that's a little odd. But so overall, detail is really nice, and articulation, oh, guess what? A Millennium Godzilla, where the arms move in and out, breaking new ground here. Can't go 360, and guess what? The legs can't go 360 either, because the arms get in the way, because they move in and out. Another groundbreaking achievement on a Bandai Millennium Godzilla. Yeah, they just move in and out, and obviously the legs could probably go 360, just had to bend them past in a really weird way, almost like folding them, so I don't recommend it. And the tail, I'm pretty positive should be a glue seal, but when I bought it, it wasn't, so it can rotate. The first, 5 releases of this figure didn't have glue seals, but the last 4 releases, this one, the Pearl, and no, that would be the last 3 releases. Wait, and the first 4, yeah, the first 4 releases of this figure, sorry, don't have glue sealed tails, and you can actually rotate them. But but this one and the other 2 releases that came after it don't have glue sealed tails, so you can't rotate them. And I'm pretty positive that, because you can see in there's glue residue. So yeah, and oh geez, I gotta get this on camera. There we go. So articulation is pretty basic, and sizing, like the last review, is going to be kind of difficult to show. Kind of move the camera to the side. 1 second. Right, sorry about that. Right, so for sizing, here's of course the figure. This figure was released alongside with Megaguirus, and it's a little hard to show. This is okay, but I think this should be a little bit, Megaguirus should be a little bigger. Because if we put the stinger in his mouth, like in the movie where he bites it off, she should be a little bit bigger, but it doesn't really matter. They still look good together, and yeah, she would size up a lot better with the memorial box. And next, here is the figure he was originally released with, the Toho Kaiju's Orga, and this is very inaccurate. Orga should be like there. So, yeah, and all the releases of this guy are the same size except the memorial box, so this is a very bad sizing, but they still look okay together. And next, here he is with, technically, his younger self, Little Godzilla, although technically this is the Megaguirus Godzilla, so not the one from Godzilla 2000, but same suit. Yeah, this is just sort of for fun, shits and giggles. Next, here is the SH Monster Arts Kiru, and this would be okay. It's a pretty good stand-in for Kiru Goji, I guess. You know, if this were Kiru Goji, yeah, this would be a pretty good sizing, maybe a little bit bigger for Godzilla. Kind of odd, because this figure's normally oversized. But yeah, pretty good. There. Next, here's the Toho Machine Chronicles White Heron, which again, if this were Kiru Goji, this would be a pretty good sizing if we put it in his mouth, like in the movie. Yeah, it looks pretty good. So, too bad there's no Kiru Goji that big. This review is really dragging on. Anyways, next, SH Monster Arts Gamera. Don't know why I pulled this out. There you go, the end. Right, next, here is the NECA 24 6-inch Godzilla 2014, which yeah, just again, this is a very odd sizing is very odd to show in this review, just because this figure's long tail makes me have to put him in at an angle. But yeah, you can tell this is not accurate at all. Should be like that big compared to Godzilla, compared to 2000, but they still look good together. You know, if you want to do like a little battle band film with them or something, you can do that. Next, here's the Monster Arts Godzilla 1995 Rebirth version, who's technically the younger version of this guy. Which, yeah, again, this is just to give you an idea of how big this figure looks, because this is in all the reviews. Probably in no way accurate. Next, here is a standard Ultra Hero Series Ultraman figure. I would say this actually looks okay. Powered is 55 meters. Pretty sure this Godzilla is just a tiny bit over 50 meters up to his head fin, so up to this spine here. So, yeah. I would say is a fairly accurate sizing. I don't know why the camera looks lower than usual in this review, but yeah. Next, here is a standard NECA Pacific Rim Kaiju, utilizing this sort of, I guess, knife head body mold, using accent. And this is inaccurate, but I would say it looks good if you wanted to do like a movie or something. So there you go. And finally, of course, well, I just dropped him, the repainted Bandai Creation Final Wars Rodan. They look pretty good together, even though this is probably very inaccurate, but it's just to give you an idea. So that's it for sizing. Now on to the history of the figure and pricing. This figure has been released about, pretty sure, exactly 7 times. Yeah, of course you had the original Toho Kaiju series release, which was a more traditional Godzilla charcoal gray color with the purple spines, released alongside Orga. And then you had the theater exclusive, obviously, which was orange, sort of a white with orange spray and glitter in the vinyl. And you also had the some kind of festival or convention exclusive, I don't really know, super crystal version. That's actually what it's called, and that one is just basically a kind of clear color, I think, with a little bit of pearlescent paint in it. And then you had, well, I'll get to the next release after that at the end, because it'll take longer to go over. But after those releases, you had this one released alongside Megaguirus and the other little accessory things in the blister pack. And you also had a theater exclusive, obviously, which was a more gold color. And then you had the pearl version, which I think was an AFFE exclusive. Asian Fantasy, I don't really know. Asian Film Fantasy Expo exclusive. I don't think it was exclusive to AFFE, but it was a pearl version of this figure, basically the super crystal but with a pearlescent paint job. And then you had, well, and then there was the release that came before this one, which I skipped over, is the rarest of them all, which was originally released in 1999 and was all translucent green, had glitter in the vinyl, was released alongside a translucent green Orga, which we'll get into the Orga in his review, and was a lottery prize. You had to win the lottery to get that, and no one knows for sure the exact numbers of the translucent green Orgas or Godzillas. I think people said there were around maybe 10 Orgas made, so probably that same number. Maybe about 10 translucent green Godzilla 2000s out there. I've never seen one of those for sale. All the other ones, the Toho Kaiju and this one, share a pretty similar price, around $30 to $50. This one may be a little bit more expensive, depending on if it has all the other stuff it was released with in the blister pack. And obviously, if it's sealed in the pack, it's probably worth up to $100. The theater exclusives, basic theater exclusive prices, maybe $5, $10 more than the standard price that you see on the figures these days. The pearl and crystal versions, I don't really know, and the lottery version, probably worth up to $30,000, a couple $100,000 maybe. Not $100,000, but definitely that one figure is worth a couple $1,000s. I don't really know, I've never seen one for sale. So this figure, I'm, of course, like I said, along with the Toho Kaiju version, is around $30 to $50. I got it for $30 at G-Fest. Obviously, it's a G-Fest review. And, yeah, it was a pretty good price. I'm broken tail glue seal and paint scuffs, but pretty good. So overall, for a rating, I'm going to give this figure a 9 out of 10. It gets the 1 point off just because of the inconsistencies with the spine, and in pictures it looks kind of more obvious that this is a separate piece, but believe me, in person, it looks a lot more convincing. So, yeah, 9 out of 10. It's a really good figure. So, that's it for this review. Thanks for watching.